edition of Straight Shooting Sports Talk, and I'm your host, Dujane Bland. It's great to be back with you on this Friday before Sunday's big games. I know a lot of you probably watch college football, so you get a little enjoyment out of that before we get to the NFL. What a game we had last night, huh? Back to the old Thursday night football lopsided games. And it looked like a really favorable matchup, didn't it? I mean, who would have ever thought Houston, they're not exceptional on offense, but they have a lot of firepower, right? Decent running back. They've looked good in their previous games. And we thought that the lopsidedness would have been to the other way with the New England Patriots on their third quarterback. And not so much. Not so much. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of turnovers that the Houston Texans had in that game that put the Patriots in pristine field position. But you have to give Jacoby Brissett a lot of credit. I mean, he only threw 19 passes. He only had 103 yards, no touchdown passes, but he didn't turn the ball over. He also had a few scats himself. Had 8 carries for 48 yards. Had that touchdown there. Not bad. And it helps when you got a running back in LeGarrette Blount covering that, running that ball 24 times for 105 yards and getting 2 TDs himself. So that's a huge, huge help. And again, a factor that we kind of leave out is that special teams did an excellent job. Um, that special teams for the Patriots did an excellent job, and that's your X factor with any team. We know that they're always ranked at the top of the league as far as the Patriots, as far as special teams goes, and the Houston Texans are usually around the bottom of the league when it comes down to special teams rankings, and it showed. It showed big time with those turnovers right inside the red zone there, giving the opponent basically red zone opportunities right off the bat to score, and they took advantage of those opportunities and put Houston behind the 8 ball. I don't think the Patriots, as far as um, Brissett being at quarterback, are as good as they showed. And I don't think the Houston Texans are as bad as they showed on offense and on defense. So big ups to Belichick. I mean Belichick again. I mean, the guy, have to give him credit. He does get his team prepared, and it really looked like that they were simply not prepared on the Houston side of the ball. Now, there's several other news that we'd like to get to as well. Um, Unfortunately, Barcett is got a thumb injury, so we'll see if we'll actually get a chance to see Edelman be quarterback. I mean, we hope not, but um, they're saying that he's probably going to be able to play through it. So that'll be cool if he can. If he can't, who knows? We might see Edelman at quarterback, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Um, Man, how many people have to get arrested and like kill their opportunity in the league? You either can't stay off the weed, or we can't seem to understand that you can't be out drinking and driving. I mean, isn't that like fundamental, like adulting 101? No drinking and driving. I mean, I just don't get it. And Austin Safarian Jenkins has been waived by the Buccaneers because of his actions. He was arrested, I believe, this morning, and on DUI charges, and so Buccaneers said bye bye, and rightfully so. Nobody wants to deal with that nonsense and have that marring uh, their reputation as a team, as an organization. So, bye bye. Adrian Peterson was placed on IR, so unfortunate for them, but it's next man up. There's a lot of teams dealing with a lot of injuries, and that brings us to the uh, Cleveland Browns. They're going to have a new quarterback in Kessler, the guy they drafted, and they're also going to be out with Coleman as well out there on the outside. So they're going to have some guys that are going to need to step up. And uh, Hugh Jackson seems to think that he's going to have his guys prepared, and this is what it's all about: continuing to fight, and that he will have his guys prepared to hopefully get a win this weekend. So we can only hope so. But I mean, if a team is ever cursed, I mean, it's like my goodness, man. You, one injury after another. They just can't seem to catch a break at all. So that brings us to our 8 games that we have left in the NFL season of week 3. And we'll go over those 8 games really quick, starting with the Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers will be at home. They are 1-1. Detroit 1-1 after giving up that loss to the Houston Texans in the last seconds when they pretty much had the game won. I think this is going to be a pretty good battle of the gunslingers. And I don't mean gunslingers in a way where they're throwing interceptions a lot, other than Matthew Stafford does have, a knack for throwing a few ill-advised interceptions. But overall, both guys really like to throw the ball around all over the field. Their offenses are set up to where they can take advantage of each other's defense. This could be a shootout. This could be a very close game. Depends on which defenses for both teams really show up. Um, but it's going to be a good one. I'm going to take the Packers, though, in that one. I just think Aaron Rodgers and Eddie Lacy find a way to get it done, and I understand that Aaron hasn't been Aaron Rodgers in quite some time, really, even starting back to late last year. And I know everybody thought it was, because of him losing some of his receivers, especially in Jordy Nelson, but it doesn't seem to have changed too much in the start of the season. But I'm going to take the Packers in that one. Next, we have the Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're going to be going to Tampa Bay, and I like Tampa Bay at home. I know that their defense is going to bring the heat as far as the Rams, and we didn't expect them to really put up that much of a fight when they played the Seattle Seahawks, and they looked quite stout there, and it was a ugly, single score game. But hey, sometimes you got to win those, and they found a way to do that. I don't. I think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will find a way to uh, neutralize the offense of the Rams, and they will. Jameis Winston will get back on track and get his team back on track and get a win over the Rams. Now the San Francisco 49ers and Seattle Seahawks. This is very intriguing matchup. When you first look at it, it's like not really. I've got Russell Wilson, and we're looking across the field at what's this guy's name? Yeah, that's how good he is. Uh, Blaine Gabbert here, and I understand. I mean, he's not that great. There's nothing that stands out or scares you about this guy, but the San Francisco defense has played exceptionally well, and San Francisco is going to look at that tape that the Rams put together, and they're going to figure out whether they can use some of that to neutralize that Seattle Seahawks offense. And I think that they can. I think it's going to be another hard fought game, probably 14, 17 points at the most that we'll see from one team as far as the score. But I'm going to go with Seattle. They're going to be at home. That 12th man is something to deal with. And I believe that that's going to be a helpful measure for them to be able to get back on their winning ways and get a win there. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks on that one. We got the New York Jets and the Kansas City Chiefs. I like both teams. but I think the Jets are on a roll. I like how they're using Matt Forte in the passing game and the running game. They definitely have weapons, and we're seeing Ryan Fitzpatrick. He got comfortable last week, and we can say they didn't play much of a defense. But as long as that Jets defense can neutralize and cause the Kansas City Chiefs to be out on the field more on defense and get their offense off the field, I think this favors the Jets. It favors their side, their style of ball. They like to really get after it, be physical, and I see the Jets out physicaling the Kansas City Chiefs. Is that a word? Out physicaling? Either way, it's a word now. I made it up. The Jets. I see the Jets winning this and winning it. Just being physical, playing physical football, and they'll be 2-1 come into Sunday. We got the San Diego Chargers and the Indianapolis Colts. I like San Diego. I don't like that offensive line for the Colts at all. Poor guy. Andrew Luck is not that lucky this year. He's gonna be taking some hits, and I'm going with the Chargers, easy. Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. This can be good. This can be good too. Um, my question though is who on that defense is going to be able to man up, and what kind of scheme are they going to come out with if you're not going to man up, if you're gonna give help on Antonio Brown, who's going to be able to? Are they going to be able to lock him up? Because we know last week was was a wet, sloppy game, and that didn't help for either team, which kept the score down, which kind of contributed to some of the offensive miscues for the Pittsburgh Steelers. If you haven't heard the show from the start, this is one of my Super Bowl picks as far as the Steelers. And even though I like what the Eagles have done so far, they if you look at the defenses that they have played, they haven't played that favorable of defenses. And that's not taking anything from Carson Wentz because you still have to go out there, you still have to complete passes, you still have to play the game smart, and he has done that. I just think this is going to be a difficult matchup for them. Pittsburgh is going to come in there, and there's going to be some things that he hasn't seen yet from quality defenses. And this is where there's going to be one mistake that's going to cost them, and I think the Steelers take this one from Philadelphia in Philadelphia. Now we have the Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys. I'm telling you, if you have Dak Prescott on your roster, I'm telling you, your fantasy roster, play him this weekend. Play him this weekend. If you don't whine. I told you so. This defense for the Bears, their front sevens is pretty decent, but what I like about the Dallas Cowboys is that physical offensive line. You add the combination of an Alfred Morris, you add the combination of an Ezekiel Elliott. See the offensive line plus the running back really pounding away at that front seven, loosening them up, tiring them out, just because of the physical battle in the trenches. They don't have the backside to deal with Des Bryant, and the way Colt Beasley has been used, along with Jason Witten. Oh, that's going to be tough for them. I'm taking the Cowboys all day on that one, and they're probably going to win big. Atlanta and Saints, I'm going with New Orleans because they just play better at home. Neither team really is out striking as far as defense. I just think the Saints are going to outscore them. Well, we thank you for listening to this show. You want to get at me? You can get at me on Twitter, notbland21. Gmail is straight shooting sports talk at gmail.com. Thank you so much. Good night.